To say that Khabib retired because he got rich, I think is very insensitive. Khabib has told us multiple times why he retired. Okay, this is a fun one from Mr. Miyagi. Hello, Ariel and co. I was wondering if your decision to take the show in this new direction was a conscious choice or an accident. The new direction I'm talking about is, of course, your decision to turn the show into a UFC/Dana White bashing event and to amplify every single negative thing that happens within the UFC. For example, trying to make a big deal out of every stoppage, trying to make every slightly negative story about the UFC blow up, and of course, overanalyzing every word that comes out of Dana White's mouth. I've listened to the show for almost a decade, Ariel, and out of the kindness of my heart, I want you to know that the past 6 months to a year has felt like your bitterness towards the UFC and especially Dana White is really coming out. Cue the hostile defensiveness about how unbiased and you and the show are. I think you need to take a look at yourself and the show and really ask yourself if you are actually unbiased, because that self-given label seems like a parody. And that's why I'm asking, is this parody or is it a massive lack of self-awareness? Wow, Mr. Miyagi. I would say that when you're talking about the stoppages, I think we're very fair about analyzing every stoppage because ultimately that's what this whole thing is about, wins and losses. And so yes, when there's a bad one, we're going to talk about it. But how often are we talking about, the Steve Garcias of the world and the other fighters who are winning on a weekly, daily basis? And I think it's funny that when you talk about, a show that on average, let's just say my show is like 3.5 to 4 hours an episode. And then you got the boys in the back, that's probably around 2 to 2.5 hours. And then you've got the crack that's probably around like an hour to an hour and a half. And you put all those hours together, in addition to the watch parties, in addition to the post shows and everything else, how much is actually negative? This is the thing. It gets amplified, sure, and it gets clipped off and all this stuff, and I get all of that. But how much is actually negative? How many times have we talked about 322 on this program, calling it the best card of the year, and how excited we are, and how it's, the best main card, and how, this one is more interesting than this one. We can't wait for Zhang versus Valentina and all this stuff. Like, it's laughable to me, and you'll say that my response to you is me being defensive, but how else do you want me to respond? I'm responding to your question. I even picked your question. I could have skimmed right over it. And I picked it because I don't agree with it, but I'm okay with the criticism. I'm open to the criticism. I'm happy to hear criticism. My feeling is that when you are that powerful and that influential, you do have to be checked. That is just part of the job. And trust me, I don't think Dana White gives two shits about what we say here. I don't think he loses a wink of sleep, but it's our job to dissect what the most powerful person in this sport has to say. There's no question about it. I'll own up to that. He is the most powerful and influential person in the sport by far. Our job is to dissect. The same way you dissect what an NFL owner says when he speaks, the same way if you're working in politics, you dissect what the president of the United States, he is that to us. There's just no question about it. So when he says things like, I don't know, we're not political, I'm not political, yeah, we're going to talk about it. When he says things like what he said to Nick Torturo while they were, chomping on some pizza about how money ruins everything, and then is very happy to flaunt the fact that he'll gamble hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per hand, and he then talks about how money ruins everything for the fights and fighters, yeah, that's a little rich. That's hypocritical. Oh, don't know what I'm talking about? Well, we have this clip for you. Here it is. Here they are chomping on some pizza talking about how money ruins everything in the prize fighting business.
But do you think that event kind of like, it was a great event, but did it hurt Conor in the long run?
No. I mean, money ruins everything. So
right.
once you get too much money involved in the fight business, if you look at, Conor made so much money and then that was it. And then Khabib made a shitload of money, and then that's it. But being a part of that, I fought it for so long. Like, this isn't a fight to make, and the fans wanted to see it so bad, we ended up doing it. And it was awesome. It was fun. Yeah. I mean, the world tour that we went on, Conor and Floyd were both great on that world tour. Yeah. And then I think Conor did a lot better than people expected.
How does money ruin everything? Like, the fighters are getting paid what they are due, and more often than not, they're not. And so here's a very, very rich man worth hundreds of millions of dollars who would never say that money ruined everything for him or anything for him. I would say that he has enjoyed a pretty good life. And so, yet, like, to say that Khabib retired because he got rich, I think is very insensitive. Khabib has told us multiple times why he retired. I don't think it's because he got rich. I think it's because his father passed away and he made a promise to his mother that he would stop fighting as a result. Conor McGregor fought multiple times. He fought Khabib. He fought Donald Cerrone. He fought Dustin Poirier twice. He was supposed to fight Michael Chandler. He's trying, like, he didn't retire after that fight. Did the fights become a little more infrequent? Yes, the pandemic happened, and yes, his desire to to be as active as he once he got rich is 100% a thing that happened. But like, to suggest that the money is ruining these guys when you are a guy who has profited off of that money is not something that I just want to ignore. I'm sorry. And you could get people who ignore that all day long. So don't watch the show. I don't know what to tell you. But I would say, what would the breakdown be? 95% positive, 90% positive? Like, we have literally devoted our lives to talking about this sport. And I can assure you, we do not devote our lives to coming here and sitting and bitching about the sport, but it's not all peaches and cream. It just isn't. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.